Good evening, everyone out there in TV, radio land, on Facebook and YouTube. This is Ashford Garley Live, the show here on Bridge Radio Africa. We had a little technical glitch. We started the broadcast off, but it started only on YouTube, and we wanted to rectify the technical issues. So we've just completed that. Unfortunately, we're starting at 8:24. Usually we start at 8 o'clock. And so I know our viewers were kind of concerned. Where are we? But listen, this is what technology does. It puts you in a bind. But you just got to be savvy and understand what you're supposed to do to make sure you straighten up things. Good evening, everyone. We want to welcome you. I'm very elated tonight. The topic is an important one, and it's not just important, but it's global in terms of what the topic is about, and this is trending everywhere on earth right now. If you just joining us, we say welcome. My name is Volcano Shelton. I'll be here with you this evening on the program. We come on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern time here in the U.S. and 1 a.m. GMT, precisely Liberia, Sierra Leone, England, those countries that are within the GMT zone. So we want to welcome all of you. Ashford is not with us tonight, but again, he will be here soon. Just wanted to share that because I know a lot of you are wondering what's going on. No, Ashford will come back, and we're going to come back with full blast. In the meantime, I want to welcome Justina Harris, best man. Welcome to the show, Mr. Moses Kamara from Pennsylvania. Jack Murch, we adore. Is also watching from Pennsylvania. We say welcome. We know a lot of you, our viewers, will be coming on shortly. Again, I'm just so sorry that we came on a little later because, again, as I said, we had a technology issue with our Facebook link, but it's good that we can come live, both YouTube and Facebook. Emmanuel Jackson from Massachusetts, welcome this evening to the show. Well, I also quickly want to run to Africa, precisely Liberia, to give thank you to Top FM 105.3 out there in Zwedru, Grangita County for carrying our broadcast. I also want to remember Joy FM tonight, 101.5, and Live FM 104.1. You guys do an amazing job simulcasting our broadcast when we come on, because you know what? Bridge Radio Africa is a platform that provides enlightenment on national issues of concern. And we only do this because it is in the best interest of Liberia, but not just Liberia, the diaspora, the continent of Africa, because this is what we're about. We just want to talk about the things that matters, the things that make sense, the things that would do much more to enhance the livelihood of our people. So again, we say welcome to all of you wonderful people. Sako Dane, welcome back to the house. Sebastian Sa, Kolu, or rather Kula S. Johnson, and May Carter Blessing. Welcome. Clarence Stiller, Victor, Chima. Now listen, some of you guys, your Facebook name, I don't know where you manufacture those things from, man. Look, y'all got to be calm with people here tonight because sometimes it's hard to pronounce some of your names. And as good as I am, I kind of like struggle with some of these names. And sometimes you guys put everything together and make it so foreign that we got to take our time. Florence Stiller, yeah, welcome. That's a name I can pronounce easy. But again, tonight, we are here to discuss an important topic. The topic here tonight is the coronavirus pandemic. As you and I know, it has forever changed our world, irrespective of culture, people, and countries. All are impacted at elaborate proportion. You and I know that everywhere in this world, there is some kind of case of coronavirus. And globally, traveling is one of the several sectors of our lives that is gravely impacted by the virus today. You and I know the travel is like going to hell and back. A traveler has to be tested before departure and arrival, a procedure which one would think should be smooth, right? Because you already got TSA to deal with, then you got all the other security groups to deal with, then you got to go deal with coronavirus testing, and then in those third world countries where they turn this thing into money-making business, it just make it so unbearable. So imagine your flight time, your wait in the terminal, then you got to go through all of that. By the time you get to your destination, you already got coronavirus. I mean, just from bearing all of um, the headache and stuff that you go through. However, this is not a common case in the country we're talking about here, Liberia. This is similar to every country, and especially in Africa. So West Africa is one of those places, Liberia in particular. The process for a simple COVID-19 testing for travelers arriving at the Rabat International Airport, okay, many have complained, and that's what we're here tonight, just to understand from firsthand people who've traveled there to see how excruciatingly painful they talk about. Needless to say, when it's time to leave the country, especially in Liberia, going there, you got all of this to deal with, but when you're about to leave, it's even worse. They say that sometimes you get frustrated. It's like you're going to pass out because your flight is later in the afternoon and you got to get that test result the same day. Imagine that. And only for you to be told your name is not in the data. Oh, that's how they put it. Your name not in the data. Oh, and then your name not in the data, then it becomes a serious problem. Then you know what that means when your name not in the data. For your name to get in the data, you got to do something so you can get in the data. So why all of these bottlenecks are unnecessary bottlenecks, procedures, and processes that make it so difficult and unbearable. I have my good friend and brother. We worked together for years. My professional colleague. That's one of my man when it comes to journalism, Mr. Moses D. Sandy. Welcome to the house. Good evening. You and I, we talked about it on Wednesday. We said we're going to come here tonight to discuss this because it's becoming a serious concern. A lot of people going and coming are complaining about the process. So I don't know what is it, but we're going to talk to one person firsthand who just came back from the country.
Okay.
We'll be reaching out to him tonight. He said that he will be willing to tell us what it's about. But man, listen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's always pleasing to be back on the most popular talk show, Bridge Radio.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's Ashford Garley live, and Ashford is hanging in there. He seems to be in great spirit.
Mhm.
I had a quick talk with him, but he's doing good, and will be coming on soon. But in the meantime, thanks for filling in. You've been a very good, support to Bridge Radio family, and we want to say thank you so much for providing us your professional expertise. A lot of the viewers and those who are calling in and putting throwing chats out there, they kind of appreciate your delivery and your perspective on things. So we're gonna have a great show here tonight. But listen, man, just give me a summary of this whole thing we're talking about. You've done your research. I'm sure you're good at that. So just bring us to speed where we are.
Uh, uh, COVID 19 is a global problem. That's why they call it pandemic. It means that it is a virus that affects countries globally. WHO, the World Health Organization, and recent updates on COVID 19 shows that for now, there are 115,289,961 confirmed cases of coronavirus. Uh, 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 and that is something that we're talking about in 223 countries. So we're talking about the Americas, Europe, Asia, the Western Pacific, and Africa. Africa is a continent, so let me just be clear about that. In the United States, uh, where you and I reside, a study shows that um, America has been able to record 28 million 468,736 confirmed cases. And So far, right now, in terms of death toll, America has recorded 515, I mean, more than 515,000 cases, individuals who have died as a result of the virus. In Africa, um, study shows that right now, in terms of confirmed cases, we have 2,878,660 cases. I mean, 680 cases of confirmed cases. In terms of death, more than 73,000 people have died in Africa as a result of the virus. So let's look at our own country and other countries in West Africa. The study shows that right now in Liberia, we have um, 2,017 cases. Liberia has one of the least number of confirmed corona cases. In terms of death, uh, research shows that right now Liberia has been able to record 85 deaths linked to the virus. In uh, Sierra Leone has recorded 3,900 confirmed cases. 79 persons have died as a result of the virus in Sierra Leone. In Guinea, 16,291 cases have been confirmed. In terms of death, 92 persons have been reported dead as a result of the coronavirus. In Ghana, so far they have recorded 84,349 cases, and the death toll is 611. So it means that Ghana has a significant challenge as compared to Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. So far, that's where we are in terms of the figures, the death tolls, and all of that. Yeah. Hmm.
All right, so good. Now, what we hear that the process in Liberia is
Yeah.
tedious. Okay, so
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to call someone who just came from Liberia so that they can walk us through. All right, then we'll look
Mhm.
at other details around it. So I'm going to
And,
call.
and so the process you're making reference to is what travel, right? Travel
Yeah, the
required.
travel process. The travel
Oh,
process. You get there, what you go
yeah.
through,
Okay.
and all of
For the
that.
COVID test.
Everything when you arrive, how it starts and where you end up, and when you departing, where it starts and where you end up. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Yes.
Volcano?
Yeah. Good evening, Moses.
Yep. How you
Welcome
doing,
to Breeze
Volcano?
Radio Africa. I spoke with you earlier, and you said you'd be willing to talk to us regarding the
Okay.
process. Please lower your monitor so you don't get too much feedback.
Okay.
Whatever you're listening to. Right. Good. Um, I have with me in the
Okay.
studios Mr. Moses Sandy, so we'll do a little bit of questioning you, just to walk us through what the experience is, because a lot of people are complaining, and I've come across a lot of people, but you just came and it's firsthand information, so I thought to reach out to you just so we can kind of like discuss it. And this is not to downplay, what Liberia is doing regarding the COVID. Uh, you know, and it's not to discredit what the government is doing, the Ministry of Health, the Liberia, Roberts International Airport, and all of that. But this is just to
Okay.
point out some of the, you know, uh, things that we could correct if we find some of those things to be, not helping the process. Um,
Okay.
so tell us, what is it that you know when you first get to Liberia, or you want to start from America before you get to Liberia?
Um, Actually, for America was not really a problem. Once you do your test and the result come out within 72 hours. It's okay, but then
Can you speak a
the
little
whole thing.
louder, sir?
Hello,
Yeah,
are
good.
you getting me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So the problem is from Liberia end, is not from the U.S. When I first arrived in Brussels on the 2nd of December, by
You don't have to give dates.
nine.
Just tell us the process.
Okay. Okay. So when I arrived in Brussels, then they issue a form, and that form they have a website there that you have to go on and then download the website on your phone, fill out all the information, and submit. And you have to show it to the Brussels staff who works at the airport before they can allow you to go through.
And so
So
this website you're talking about, is it a website relating to Liberia?
yes,
Okay.
it's directly from Liberia
Okay.
regarding the COVID.
Okay. So you have to
So
download it in Brussels
yeah, yeah,
because they
you
have
have to
Wi-Fi.
download.
So they have Wi-Fi there for you to be able to do it. Because I know when you're traveling international, you may not have access to your telephone
Yeah,
service.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Brussels have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you download it, and then after you finish fill out all the information, they're gonna ask you, you want to pay now or pay later when you arrive at the airport.
Oh,
So
so
because
you
some
so
people
you
don't
you
have,
have an option to pay the money to Brussels. It's $75.
no, not
Is it seventy
no,
five
not to
dollars?
Brussels, not to Brussels. You're paying online with your debit or credit card.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
And
but
the fee they
some
say
people
is $75.
$75.
Okay, continue.
So after I'm done with it, and then I say okay, but then I will pay at the airport. So when I arrived at the airport at night, it was like 10 something, 10:55. But then the process is crazy. So you have to go in the building out of the terminal. You have a building that beside the terminal. You have to walk in that building, and then they have staff there that will come around for them to help you go through the app. Make sure that you download every information. Then after that, you have to stay on a long. Actually, it's a long queue that will take you almost like 30 minutes to an hour. So you have to go first, take your $75 out, and pay in to the UBA cashier. They have a UBA cashier right at the airport.
And
So after you got done
for
paying,
those who are listening, UBA is one of the banks in Liberia, right?
yeah, 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 UBA is one of the things, and that's the thing they use.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to pay the money right there, and after you pay the money, another staff will come out and verify the receipt. After that, before you can leave, and then go into the lab because the lab is little distant from where you're doing all the process. So when you go into the lab, you submit the paper, you do the swap. After the swap, before you can leave,
So what a
and
lab
then when
looks
you,
like? Describe the lab a little bit quick. What does
the
it look
lab
like?
is just a little tight little place where they have like 3, 4 staff sitting there.
Okay.
You come, they have the long strap just stuck in your nose and your throat, and that's it. They tell you, say, okay, go, you're going to hear from us. But then the funny thing about it is that when you pay that $25, you're not going to get result.
Okay.
There's no result when you enter the country.
Okay.
So now, when you leaving, when you're
So then,
leaving, you
so
have
hold
to.
on now. So after you do the swapping, then they say you free go. Then they knock your butt and say go.
Yeah, they only tell you, say, okay, you know what? You're going to just check your phone. You're going to get a message. We're going to call you.
Okay. So then
That's it.
they will tell you to check your phone. So probably
Yeah,
they will
for,
give you
for,
the
for
update.
text message. Yeah.
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing. You're not going to get nothing
All right.
because you're already in country. So when you're leaving the country, if you're leaving on Monday, so you have to go and do the test on
So,
Friday. So if you're having other activities to do, you have to do it before that Friday because on that Friday when you go at most spot to go and do that test, then it takes the whole day.
The whole day
Okay,
just to
so
do
when
a
you
test.
yeah,
Wow.
and let me just walk you through the process.
Okay.
So when you arrive there, you have to stand in a queue. You have some guys who hanging around, with their phones. You go to them, and then they're going to go through the same process you went through when before you enter the country or when you enter the country. So after filling all that information online, they have I think they have like two large continuums sitting right in the yard. You have to go there and then pay your $75 a day. And you pay your $75, you leave, take the receipt and carry it to another continuum and go verify it. It's the same you and UPA bank staff that's sitting right there receiving the money. So you go, you have to verify it. After verifying it, then you come and stand on the line. So there's a lady who will walk out and give you numbers. The number runs from 1 to 100. So every time when she completes 100, she starts over. But the interesting thing about it, you guys will be on the line, water on sun, rain, and you get people walking in the building, going in, coming out, while you guys still standing on that line. So you stay there, maybe you're number one, and you have almost like 10% just passing you walk in the building and come back. So
So you don't even know if some of those people caught in the line or anything, but you get there,
you know,
being
yeah,
Mr. American, you want to follow the rule.
I know. So when you stay on that line, and luckily for you, if you enter the building, then the process starts. So when you enter the building, you guys will go around like, you know how they have a musical chair. You know, they have a musical chair, music playing, then you guys go around, everybody for you to sit in the chair. That's how it works. So they have few chairs in the building. Move, one person sit, and then you have to go to, they have the staff that's sitting right there. You have to go and verify your information again after doing all that process out there. So after verifying, then before you can head to the lab. But even if you go to the lab, you still have not completed your process yet. Because you still have long queue waiting. If I was doing my corona test, by 12 o'clock, they stopped. They said the staff been going for lunch. But all the staff will get take. I mean,
So you
those
telling me, wait, Moses, you telling me that at 12 o'clock, then all the staff pack their thing, then they say they're going to lunch. Then they leave. The poor people who's supposed to catch the flight in the later on in the afternoon or evening, just standing
you
around,
have
gotta
to,
go for lunch.
yes, so it's like those in the lab, you have to go for lunch. And when going for lunch, you guys have to sit and wait for them. They will sit right there. I don't know, they eat the food there or whatsoever to do there, but then it take like almost like 30 minutes. After that process, before they can call you guys in, swap, and then you leave. So when you leave, they're going to tell you, say, okay, you're going to receive a text message within 3 days' time. So in 3 days' time, you will receive positive or negative. And if you get that result, some people go out and print it out, but then some people just keep it on their phone.
All right, but
Upon your return,
in your case, did you get a result or did you go back there for the result?
No, the result, they test the result to you. And once you receive the test, you click on you click on the test, open, and you're going to see the result. The result is like a phone. All the information is there telling you that you're negative or you're positive, but for mine was negative.
So, but in the case of you, maybe there's a different scenario. I just heard from other people where you go back there on the day that you're flying out to get your result. You don't get the result. So I don't know if it's by chance you got your result on your phone. Some people have to go there on
some
the
people,
day of.
some people are not lucky. So it's like some people have to go back there. But for me, I was lucky. Mine thing on the phone. So I got my result on the phone, and then on the day I was traveling, I took the result with me.
Go ahead,
but then the interesting thing is when you get on the airport, every security asks for COVID result, including the team that's supposed to even ask you. Immigration will ask you for COVID result. Police will ask you for COVID result. I mean, it's just too much.
Yeah, all the people asking.
And if I
eating better now.
Yeah.
In trouble. Mm-hmm. I was surprised even before you enter the terminal, you have to show your COVID result. You have to verify it, go online, verify it before you can enter the terminal. Now when you enter the terminal, the process starts. The airport authority will come and ask you for the COVID result, and then you walk in, the police will ask you. The people from health ministry will ask you, which you're supposed to ask. But then the funny thing about it is, even immigration will ask you for COVID result. Until you can leave, go through all that process, it's really hard. It's hard. It's really, really hard. Take patience. And at the end of the day, man, you can't just go through. That even when I'm so start the guys that there are technique to go through the process, you have to give them something to speed up the process. Because if you don't know it, then they're just going to look at you, man. When you ready yet, that's what they're going to tell you. So I don't know. We just have to pray so that the COVID stuff will go away. But it's actually frustrating.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
look,
Right?
Volcano, if I can just come in quickly, what Moses just reported confirms some of the reports that we've been reading about in Liberia and some of the things that we see on social media. The process is completely chaotic, very, very chaotic. Everybody wants you to bribe here and there. That's why I'm told, and that's what we've been watching online. It's so frustrating to the point that I'm even told that sometimes you don't get your result when you are about to leave the country. So some people have even missed their flights as a result of the result. I mean, as a result of the COVID results not being available at the time that those results needed to be. As per the protocol, is that once you submit to the test, you're supposed to get your result after 72 hours. You show up to the airport, or they say they're going to text you your test result. You don't. You go on the website. The health ministry has a website. You go to the website. You just can't get any information about you. So the whole thing is chaotic. It's
Let
very,
me
very
let me
chaotic. I
ask,
think there's more emphasis on generating the money than actually helping the people.
let me ask Moses. Moses, are you still there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, quick question. How much did you pay to and from?
$75 to go, $75 to come back.
Because some people think it's
But
free. Some people are asking me,
no, no,
how
no, no,
much you
no.
pay?
You gotta get the 100. You gotta get that $150. That one that $75. You gotta get it. Keep it with you on your way coming back. You gotta keep it with you, and you just gotta hold it tight because if you don't have it, it's not gonna come.
All right, Moses,
So
thank you so much for availing yourself to this. Just share with us. Why it is true that you were lucky to get your result coming back. I would discuss another person who I just spoke with that came back and said that on the day of um their departure, they didn't get anything, so they went to the place like by 12, and then they say, "Oh, yeah, Nina in the data, oh, the
they
Nina
don't
in the data that that one I can maybe lie the
they don't
data."
feel the quality
They
that.
say, so yeah, Nina in the data. So the woman says she said, "But how many will not be in the data? Yoki, Aki, I took the test, you did everything. You say, I will get, so the other." They said, "Wait small." The guy when he danced around, he came back to the Oma. He said, "Oma, you got $30?" The Oma said, "What you mean by I got $30?" He said, "But that thing won't go." So the woman said, "What do you mean?" She said, the woman said, "I paid my $75. I need my result." He said,
Yes,
"But man, start yelling now." He said, "Stop yelling." He said, "But anyway, you know what, woman? Whatever you got, just give me something. Give me 20." So
yeah,
apparently the person who's sitting behind the recorded result, the
yeah,
person watching
right,
to
yeah.
see whether Omar will get the guy because he's like the mule.
You
All
said
right.
me too, yeah,
Yeah. So then she gave him the $20 as he was taking another way. The
yeah.
old man, the
When
old man it came out straight. Mansu, Mansu, your result, yeah.
yeah,
Your
result
result,
is
yeah. You
negative.
know. So my man, what kind of problem is this? So is
This
this a new way now for these people to just corrupt the people, corrupt the society? And
you
this
know,
is shameful because Moses, you're coming, sir. The
yeah,
thing is, we
yeah,
have international travelers going to that country.
yeah,
They're watching what we're doing. This is a global pandemic. Let's make the system smooth. You already collecting $75. Nobody's bitching about paying that money. Excuse my expression if it
Yeah,
comes across, but nobody is querying. Nobody is saying that we're not going to pay the
it's
money. But
required.
just make the process as simple as it is. Why should a person come back to the airport every other paradox asking him or her for COVID test result when it
COVID.
only should be the Ministry of Health representatives? The
Right.
Ministry of Health representatives should only ask you for COVID result. Immigration shouldn't be asking you. Immigration should be asking for your passport. Police officers shouldn't be asking you for COVID result. So
Right.
everybody wants their hand in the pile.
Trying
And
to
this
get
is why we have all this problem, Moses. Come here,
us.
brother.
Absolutely, and that's the difference between what is happening in Liberia and in Sierra Leone and Ghana. In Ghana, Ghana charges $150 for COVID test. Now, when you are entering the country in Ghana, you have to pay $150. Their process is not as chaotic as compared to what we have in Liberia. In Sierra Leone, in Sierra Leone, it is even much cheaper. And guess what, Volcano? Uh, Anyone entering the country, it's the same online application process applies in Sierra Leone. You go online, you complete the process, and you are required to pay 80 US dollars. Now, when you pay the 80 US dollar,
So
you
you
go.
said, so let's go back. You said Sierra Leone process is, you
It's
said you said they got ordinary and what do you call
Yeah,
it?
they have what they call expedited. If you want your process to be expedited, you pay a little bit higher as compared to somebody who just want a regular testing. And that's basically for individuals arriving in the country. I was looking at Sierra Leone and I noticed that their fees, the regular fees is 5,000 leons. I mean 500,000 leons, which add up to approximately $51 US. That's for regular service. And when you are leaving the country, you are not required to do a COVID test in Sierra Leone. In Liberia, you are required to do the test when you enter in the country, and when you are departing, you are also required to do the test. So you see the difference between the two. It is cheaper in Sierra Leone to do the test. If you're doing the regular test, you pay $51. When you are leaving, you don't have to in Sierra Leone. In Liberia, they made you pay $75. At the same time, people running after you for you to tip them. Uh, when you are leaving again, they make you pay another $75. So it means that you pay $150. In Ghana, Ghana charges $150. Uh, for individuals that are in transit in Ghana, they are not required to pay any fee because they are in transit. So once you're in transit in Ghana, you don't have to do a COVID test. You are not required. When you enter in the country, you pay the $150. That's how it works in Ghana. In Sierra Leone, take for example, if maybe your flight is tomorrow and you want an expedited process, then you pay a little bit higher, and that would be $71 US.
That is going now. Not coming back.
No, when you're entering the country,
That's
yes.
what I'm saying. Yeah, when arriving.
So, yeah, so that to expedite the process to make it faster for you when you get to the airport, you just pay $1, which is 700,000 leons, and it would just be within a couple of minutes you'll be able to have it done. In Liberia, that is not the situation. Everybody coming after you, asking you for money.
I hope we will have anyone from Sierra Leone tonight watching the show could call in. The number now to call in is 404-272-2808. Again, 404-272-2808.
Mhm.
Call us and tell us what's your experience. Have you traveled recently to Liberia? Have you traveled recently to Ghana? Have you traveled recently to Sierra Leone? We really want to hear, people from those countries coming out to call. Don't call to ask us too much question tonight because we don't, we haven't traveled, but again, if you have traveled, we'd like for you to share your experience. This is Ashford Garley Live. The program is brought to you on Bridge Radio Africa via YouTube and Facebook. Um, we come your way 8 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday. Today is Friday, March 5th, 2021. We came on a little bit late because we had some technical glitch with our Facebook channel, which were resolved. And good to be back with all of you tonight. Again, this is Volcano Shelton, the co-host of the program. I'm teaming up with my good old friend and brother, former colleagues from our colleague rather from the Liberia Broadcasting System, Mr. Moses D. Sandy. We formerly worked together at LBS. Moses has availed himself over the last several productions to help us, just share his perspective, his professional perspective and experience on some of the topics we've discussed. We want to also thank Top FM 105.3 out there in Zwedru, Grand Juda County for carrying our broadcast, Joy FM 101.5, and that of Live FM 104.1. If
And
you're
what
celebrating your birthday today, we want to say welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on. All of you wonderful people, whatever the occasion, it could be an anniversary. We say happy birthday, happy anniversary. And we say thanks for coming in. We have a caller, Moses, on the line right now. The caller is calling from an 8351 number. 8351. Are you there? Oh, the caller dropped. All right.
Yeah, so
Probably the call back.
just wanted to pass on this information. It is a breaking news from Monrovia. As we do this broadcast, it has been reported that donated vaccines, COVID vaccines, summing up to 384,000 doses of vaccines have arrived in the country. So, what the government has done in terms of priorities, and we kind of this is again, this is where sometimes it's really difficult to wrap your head around things that really go on in Liberia. The government has identified healthcare workers as priority number one, and that's good. Uh, the disappointing thing that I read is that among the priority list, they have members of the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government as priorities. In the United States and other countries, the individuals that are listed in terms of priority are people who are working directly with um, other people, say human services, medical doctors. So healthcare workers in the United States are priority. Another priority are what? The elderly, seniors. So people with pre-existing condition, people ages 65, 70 or so, they are part of the priority list. In Liberia, that is not the case. Our public officials are at the top of the list. So what happens to people who have pre-existing conditions in Liberia? Do you leave these people and begin to attend to public officials? As part of the government priority list, they also have marketeers. So what happens to a 65-year-old man? What happened to a 60-year-old man who really needs this vaccine? I thought these people would be priority number one. That's the
All right.
cookie.
All right, Moses.
Mhm.
Let me bring this caller in quick. Caller from a again 8351. You call back. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Bill Yanapo. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Welcome to the show. You've listened, and what is your contribution? Caller, you gotta pay attention to me, not the monitor in the background. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, pay attention to me. What's your contribution?
Yeah, Mr. Shelton, we just have to pray for our country. I was in Liberia in December, and exactly what the first caller told you is exactly what's going on. It's very, very frustrating on the airport. I remember in December when I got there around 10 something, and then you have to come out of the airplane and then come back, like you coming back on the airport and then go where they have all the health authority. And when you get there, when you try to download the app, they won't let you. When you ask someone, they will tell you that, oh, the internet is not good.
Hmm.
O- Okay, and then they will have people with their phones and all that stuff just all over the place. And
That
sometimes
makes it
you
fast
get
download.
confused. You don't know what to do. You travel a long distance, you want to leave, and then they got a long queue that you got to get in line, pay the money, and then when you pay the money, they have the other group that will verify this one, that one, and then before you go to do the COVID test, and it take a long time because you guys in line, and they are bringing other people to get before you. Sometimes you see other people coming in, and then they take them straight to do their test, and you're right there. But the frustrating part is you come from a long distance. You have to go through all the process, and then your luggage is on the other side. You don't even know what to do. There came a point after I did my test, everything, I paid my money, everything, and then I even went to the health authority to show my yellow book, and they even asked me for my passport.
Did they
I
ask
said,
you
but
for your passport?
they asked me, the health authority is supposed to take your yellow book,
Yeah, then they're
but
asking for
but then
passport.
they asking for my passport.
Okay.
So I said, well, this is my passport, but do I have to give you my passport also? I was already frustrated with the situation at the airport. But, all in all,
So
Liberia is out.
this thing you're talking about, where's your bags and at now? So you got up from the plane, you even know where your bags are though. You go
You
through all
got
of this.
down from
That
Mr.
2 3 hours
Shelton.
based on your bed and just sitting down.
Mr. Shelton, that was the first question that I asked. I
Oh,
said, but
Think
what's
about
going
that.
on? Is our luggage going to be safe? The other guy said, yeah, you're going to see it. You shouldn't worry. I said, what? When are you going to stay in line for like 2 3 hours?
Oh my
And
God.
then when you get to the place, look, Mr. Shelton, I was really thinking like, we got a new airport, so we're going to see strange, different things at the airport, but everything stayed the same. Nothing has changed.
hmm.
You see all people all over the place. You don't even know what to do. You got to be very careful.
And
Anyway,
I heard story where they say sometimes they break people bag and take stuff off. Oh.
I'm
They take
telling you
stuff out of the
something serious.
bags
We
because
just need, we just
you
need to
over there for
pray.
all that long time. You expect that man, you come by your bed. Somebody got to do something.
Hmm.
We just need to pray. Even coming back, I have to do my test. That was on I think Sunday or something. We went somewhere around SOS, and then when we got there, they have I think like two containers. Then they have the tank.
Hmm.
So when you get to the place, there's no one to tell you where to go. First, you're going to be confused where to start from. That's the first thing. No order.
No system.
So then you would go ahead asking people, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, go to the other container. And then from there, fill out go on the app, and do this and do that. Then you go to the other container to go and pay your money. And then when you come from there, you get in the queue. And then they have the other building on the other side. So when you go in the building, they will tell you to sit somewhere else, but then other people go inside. And sometimes it will cause you to create a scene, and then they will tell you what he's trying to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's
were you one of the people who got your result on your app, or did you have to go there and be and was
I
told
have to
that,
I have to go there
and then they told you
and
your name was not in the data?
exactly my name is not in the data. I gotta wait.
And then 90 database.
My man at work made me lie. You're not in the data.
Then your name is
You
database.
understand? But by the time um uh I don't want to call name
No,
Mr.
no, don't
Shelton.
call me. Just
Yeah,
tell us the
but
process.
it is
As I
it
said,
is
this
so
is not to throw anybody.
yeah it is
Let me
so
be honest with you, my brother. Just give me a second. Let me make it clear here tonight. This is not about the Ministry of Health. This is not about the Liberia Airport Authority. This is not about the government of Liberia. This is about the people who we put there and the system that we failed to put in place for those people to honor the system. That's where the problem comes from.
that's
Okay?
right.
It has nothing to do with the government of Liberia. It has nothing to do with the Liberia Airport Authority. It has nothing to do with the Bravos International Airport. It has nothing to do with the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. But it has everything to do with them putting those kind of people in place with no customer service, with no professionalism, without understanding that the airport is the gateway to the country, and we need to carry ourselves and conduct ourselves as professionals.
Right.
But we continue to carry corruption even to the gateway of the country.
So
And it
Right.
becomes compelling for people to talk about these things. There is no way we can sit there and continue to pretend. This is not about George Weah. I got nothing to say about
but,
President Weah.
Right. But
uh,
what I first heard, Mr. Shelton, before I left United States, they said before you go to Liberia, you have to do your COVID test. I did my COVID test. So I went with the impression that once I showed the COVID test from here, it was still valid.
no,
I
yeah.
would just go through. But then I find out it was the other way around. And it makes other people to feel like it's only about the money. It's not really about, because when you do your test, when you enter Liberia and you do your test, you don't going to get no result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I asked a question, why I didn't get a result? They said, because you are not positive.
So forget about that one. You're not positive. You're in the country now. So that day when you went to get your son and they told you, say you're not in the data. Oh, what happened after you were not in the data?
Well, you have to wait around. They will tell you to wait around, and then sometimes they will say, give your information. Like I said, I don't want to. But then after an hour or two, and then my son he got the text on the phone, and then we just went through the website and we saw everything.
Okay.
So
Did you have to pay anything? Be honest. You're laughing. You get
you know,
small thing.
it,
Just
you know,
say you get small thing.
it's so frustrating. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to,
My
go
man,
further than that. But
did you
it is
get small
frustrating.
thing? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Did you
For
get?
small thing,
Did you? Did you?
is
All right, we
the
call it tip.
Liberian way.
Hold on. We call it tip in America. Did you tip?
It's a tip,
Okay.
but it's the Liberian way. You have
Okay.
to do it the Liberian way also.
Okay. So you tip. All right. That's good. But thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it, my man.
Thank you.
Moses, listen.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is serious stuff.
Something I wanted to say, right?
Just keep calling 404-272-2808. We're looking for someone to call from Sierra Leone tonight, if you can. Someone from Ghana. We just want to take inquiries to someone from Africa Coast. If you're on the line, call us. Tell us if you just came from one of those countries, just to share your experience with us in Liberia. We really want to talk about it. Coming more.
Yeah, no. What I wanted to say is that with the breakdown in system at the airport, where almost everybody is involved in the process of determining, who enters the country, who has a valid test result or not. I think this is where the lack of supervision is coming. So those guys who are at the airport, they report to other people that are in higher places. And don't tell me that they are not aware of what is happening. So I will blame the Ministry of Health. I will also blame, the executive, the presidential. I'm sure Mr. Weah is aware of some of these things. We need a system that will really punish people who try to harass other people unnecessarily. The Rabos International Airport is what? The gateway to the international community. So if you have bad customer service over there, people living in Liberia, people entering Liberia, we have, negative impression about happenings in the country. So there's a need that this problem be resolved with immediacy.
Now, Moses, I agree. The reason why I say this is because, listen, the government hires me to do a job. And
Okay.
I'm speaking from a professional perspective. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
The government hired me to do a job. Whether I work for the Ministry of Health, whether I work for the Liberia Airport Authority, whether I work for Rabos International Airport, whatever, it behooves me to be a professional at all level.
Absolutely.
So I cannot we cannot always, take the ordinary man's corrupt behavior, bad practices, and
Mm-hmm.
throw it always on the government. At some point, yes, the supervisors need to be held liable for
Absolutely.
not reprimanding or firing those
Mm-hmm.
people who continue to create bad image for the country.
Mm-hmm.
But also, again, it behooves that person who takes that professional position to remain professional at all times.
I agree.
So Moses, your
Mhm.
job hire you as a professional career social worker.
Yes.
The job hires you on the premise that you will be professional.
Mhm.
They hire you because you have the qualification. They hire you because you have the competencies. Now, if
Yes.
you go to work and do something contrary,
Mhm.
it begins with you first.
I agree. I agree. So, and to better to buttress what you're saying, right? As a career social worker, uh, one of the things that anyone in human services will not want to do is to have a relationship with a client. So, if I decide to have a personal relationship or an intimate relationship with a client, and my supervisor gets to know about that, my supervisor looks the other way. Another social worker goes and do the same thing. The supervisor looks away. I mean, looks the other way. Then who do you hold accountable? The supervisor. It means that the supervisor has failed to execute his or her responsibility. That is where I'm coming from. The Ministry of Health, they hire those people. They have managers. They have top managers that are monitoring these people, that should be monitoring them and ensure that people are doing the work in the accordance with the standard set. So if you have one or two workers over there that are literally, tracking down travelers, harassing travelers just to get kickback, you need to terminate them immediately because these people are out of compliance with the airport protocol, the protocol of the health ministry. So they need to work. The supervisors need to work. The top managers need to work. And that is not happening from what I'm beginning to hear. It seems that these people are not working.
With you, I agree with you. Definitely. That's what I said. It begins with the supervisor. But we can
Yeah,
always go to the minister. We can always go to the president. See
yeah,
what I'm because the president is not omnipresence and the
I
president is not
agree.
omnipotent.
Everywhere, every time, no, I
Yeah.
agree.
I'm
So
just saying that
those
the
types of responsibilities
I have
need
a
to
caller.
perform
Moses,
their
let me see
duties.
who this caller is.
Mhm.
5909 number. Caller, are you there?
720, yeah,
Yeah.
5909. I'm there.
Yeah, caller coming. We're having a discussion on the coronavirus, arrival and departure, the testing process at the Roberts International Airport and in the Congo Town area. Have you just traveled from Liberia?
No, I have not come from Liberia in recent time, but I have a couple of family members who just came from Liberia in recent time.
Okay, so what will
But
be your quick
first of all,
contribution?
hosting the program, tell Shelton, thank you. But what I want to say, my brother, we are all Liberian living in the diaspora. Our country have a serious problem. And the problem, until we can solve that problem, we and our city will continue to make a contribution or say something that we anticipate for that problem to be solved. We have a culture of corruption in our country. And I've been in Liberia a couple of times before the Ebola or the coronavirus problem. When you travel to Liberia to get your luggages, you have problems. Our immigration system there, they all involved in bribery. So it's not about people being tested or in and out of the country. It's just a process or the system that have been put in place to run smoothly for people who are traveling in and out of the country. Until we can do those things, we will always cause problems for our brothers and sisters that are traveling in and out of the country because it's not good. It's not good. In Liberia, before the coronavirus time, you see, even you go for money to Western Union, money grant, you have happened. So the major problem we have in our country is the problem of corruption. Until we can solve that problem, we can lay it to rest, we will always digress. We will always digress the experimental wise.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, and another thing that can be done.
Hold on. Caller, are you there?
Yes, Shelton, this is Emmanuel from Boston.
Hey, Emmanuel, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing out there tonight?
Not bad, though. Fun.
Good, good,
I've
man.
been,
Listen, you
I've
following the
been listening.
story. The
Yes.
topic here. Coming, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, coming.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, Well, I mean, this goes back to all the previous shows you've been hosting. You know, yeah, yeah,
He's breaking in.
You're breaking in, man.
Emmanuel, are you there?
yes. I mean, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead. You were saying
Yeah.
previous.
So, I mean, it goes back. Yes, I am.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. We're listening.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it goes back to what we've been discussing in the past few weeks. You know, our country.
Yeah. I don't know, Emmanuel, what is happening with your line,
Emmanuel, are you
but we
there?
are listening.
How you doing?
Emmanuel?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Emmanuel.
go ahead. You're breaking in.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, so I mean, this is a serious issue because this is a health issue. Okay.
Emmanuel, could you call back? Probably you keep breaking in, man. Call back. There's another caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Octavius Wallato, and I call you from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Oh, welcome to the show. How you doing
Yeah, thank
tonight?
you. Pretty good, and you guys, how you guys doing?
We're good. We're good.
Go. We all get thanks for action.
Uh, just to add on to the many voices, you know, I want to agree with your studio guest. The reason the position supervisor was created is because you need to monitor or supervise people.
Agreed. We agree.
Yeah. So if I'm given a piece of job and government or whatsoever, and I fail to carry on my professional ethic, my supervisor got some major part to play in it.
Absolutely.
Supervising me properly, or he or she is aware of what's going on. That's the situation with Liberia. Like when I was in Liberia, the police people, information we got out that policemen can send people on a patrol team and tell them, when you go, they try it, I want you to go. How you think the man going to you got to suppress people. So these things are going on, like the past caller said, is very, very serious. It's something that people who are in authority need to take action on. There is no way an ordinary man can punish an ordinary man. Only people in authority can do that.
Yes.
So we will hold them liable. We will hold them responsible for everything that is going on in Liberia.
All right, my brother. Thank you. We got another caller. Thank you so much. Caller from oh, okay. The caller hang up, Moses. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, like
Listen, I didn't disagree with you. I didn't disagree with you.
no,
What
we're on the same page. We're on
we
the
have
same
a
page.
tendency to attribute everything to the presidential level, to
I got
the minister level. But that's why we have people down the channel. Now, don't get me wrong. With all of this, maybe it should bring some kind of awareness to the president to say, wait a minute, I'm hearing things going on and trending. I need to visit the airport to see for myself and follow, see what the process is. Or the minister of health should be able, because you don't put system in place and don't follow through to make sure that your system working well and the people are doing what is expected. That's why it's important. You know,
yeah,
just call it back.
okay. And now,
Yes,
okay,
I'm coming back.
All right,
yeah.
caller from a
Yes.
1499.
Yes. This is Thomas. So
All right,
I'm calling from Providence, Rhode Island.
yeah, come in.
You know, this topic you guys discussing tonight is very much interesting because I was in Liberia last December.
Who wanted the
And
last December now? The one from 2019 or the one from
yeah,
20?
those are 2020,
Okay.
2020, 2021, yeah.
I just came from there.
All right, go ahead.
And we got to, at times there was not the corona, I left for the coronavirus started in March, you know. The situation at Apple, breaking to post cases is so bad. When I got my luggage, one of my bag was missing. I said, I can't find my bag. I started running all the way. Later on, they said it's on the bag, they brought it back. I mean, when I opened that bag, I said, every column by column tag, they were all empty. They took the full phone with some cologne and everything.
Wow.
I got to come back and pay for the full phone.
Yeah,
When I
man.
went to get my complaint, the guy said, how sure is that it didn't happen in New York?
Look at that.
That's what he told me. I said, in America, we don't even lack our suitcases. We just throw it on the plane and get on the plane.
And
And that's what he told me.
so your
Why
suitcase,
you not about it?
so your suitcase
Yeah,
was in lock.
it was locked. My suitcases were all locked.
He said they broke the lock.
So they
But
broke the
how they
lock.
get into it?
Mhm.
They break in the lock of the state. There's someone where they can press the
Oh,
zipper
okay.
and
So
they just play the plane and they go inside there.
so they played the other
Hmm.
way.
Yeah, yeah, and get it in there. When I got to play all the football, everything I got like my best. Suitcases, this phone gone, the column bottle all gone.
Wow.
When I carry the complaint, man, tell me how are you think it ain't happen in New York or it ain't happen in Brussels? I said, my brother, when you get the plane from New York, when you get to Brussels, your suitcases they stay inside and they transfer to another plane. You don't just go and take your bag one by one and put it back on the plane. Well, you're a little spoil your country name. I
Hmm.
went to Brussels office the next day and tried the complaint. And no tea, no matter go to. I was so discouraged. And the topic I want for you guys to continue talking and let the authority hear it. Maybe they are not aware or they are aware the plane just here. And when you tell them, I say, oh, they've been happening to Ralphie for a long time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They've been happening to Ralphie for a very long time. That's what they can tell you. Or some will tell you the guys are not taking pay. That's what they will tell you.
Thank you. Thank you, my
I
brother.
end up saying, thank you so much. Your pound the job back here. Let it put change.
Thank you.
It disgracing our country. It could be investors that will go in our country and will see thing and like we'll lose contract, lose job.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
We want them providing job, we're providing money for them, we're paying for building houses. Why are they doing that for us? Yeah, I hope you continue with the topic and let it reach the west also region.
Thank
I
you, my
thank you so
brother.
much. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Moses,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether, somebody asking whether children under 10 or 10 taking the test or paying the 75. Well, if you even young baby said you have to pay.
You have to pay.
Go
The,
ahead, Moses. You wanted to
the
say
test
something?
is the test is required for everybody. So if you have a 10-year-old traveling, obviously the 10-year-old will pay the $150 to enter and leave. Mhm.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
yeah, so something I wanted to say, he struck a very salient point about salaries. And Volcano, one of the best way of fighting graft in any institution is to pay people livable wages. When you pay people livable wages, I'm not saying that they're going to be 100%, but at least that will help to minimize the desperation. We see people running after passengers, doing everything possible they can to get $1 or $2 because most of these people are not earning livable wages. If you work at the airport, say, or you work at the airport as a representative of the Ministry of Health, and hypothetically you're earning $75 a month, or you're earning $100 a month, when you go to the airport, your focus is not on your job. Your focus is to earn some money that you'll be able to take to your family. If you are paid a livable wage, say the cost of living in Liberia, let's say hypothetically is $300-400 a month average. And if you pay somebody based on qualification, work experience, and say, oh, okay, we pay you $1,000, I don't think that person will be so desperate to the point that he or she will go and break into someone's suitcase only because he wants to take $1 or $2 home. Or come after you when you enter the country and say, oh, well, you have to do this, you have to do that. Well, if you don't do this, this is what will happen. You will cut down, you will minimize this problem. And when you pay people well, you can control them. You can have a system that say, hey, we found out that you're not keeping up with what we expect of you or what we expect of our workers. So we cannot keep you. You have some level of control. But if somebody is earning $50 a month, earning $25 a month, what do you expect of these people? And don't get me wrong, yeah, I'm just being hypothetical here. That's what I would like to
So
suggest.
Moses, but here what it is, the airport is now a market ground. And the airport shouldn't be a market ground. The
I agree.
airport is a hustling ground. All kinds of people who are not even employed at the airport, they
Yeah.
go there to hustle.
Mhm.
You know, three,
Yeah.
4 men fighting over your bag.
Yeah, they do that.
Imagine you giving your phone to somebody and say, "Let me go download the app." Say, "No Wi-Fi here," and then they go in the corner. They don't come back. Your phone
But
gone.
you
What?
heard you heard one of the callers, right? The
Yeah,
caller said you
yeah,
found and with cell phones standing around. Oh, I can help you.
yeah. I can
I
help you.
think that I can help you not because they are interested in being nice to you. They just want you to tip them. That's what they're doing now for. So the man can service about 5 or 6 persons, and everybody giving him $5.
Oh yeah, but the
He
least
said,
you
"You
give,
want
the least you
$7
give.
right there."
Moses, the least you give at the airport is $5. The
Yeah,
people don't even want
you
to
know.
give the dollar. When you
Yeah.
get a dollar or two, they say, "Oh, nye, 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 nye." I mean, like I said, my man, have you ever finished? Oh, so now I can just say that one. I say, will this country ever change in our lifetime?
Yeah,
Will there anything good come out of this country?
of course.
Liberia is a beautiful place, Moses. Let me just make this clear tonight to you, our viewers. All of you on this call know tonight, on this platform, watching from anywhere on earth, Liberia is a beautiful country. Liberia is a wonderful place. But we are the ones, the citizens, the people of the country that continue to make the country a mess. And especially in this generation and time, since the Civil War, the country has just been going backwards. There's no progression. Simple policies and procedures we can follow. Simple things. I mean, traffic lights. The light is green, right? It means go. The
Go, yeah.
light is red, it means stop. But when it's red, they still go through the light. They see the sign say one way, they will go the opposite way. When you coming in from your the right way, they're cussing you. Why are you coming this way? Like you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing. What type of country is this? What type of people are these?
Yeah, you know.
Why we continue to make ourselves a laughing stock? Why we continue to do this? And
Oh,
you have people at the top who found this to be pleasurable. They
mhm.
want to keep the country in chaos. They want to keep the common man so confused and stupid so that they can continue to corrupt and get rich at the expense of their stupidity, and the nonsense they continue to create for the country. That's why the country don't even look like a country. That's why Yaka Koloba said this place is an area. It's not a country. It's shameful.
It
It is
is.
absolutely shameful, Moses. And I
It is.
don't know how long can we continue to do this. This country has evolved in the 21st century. Look at us still behind.
You know,
Behind in technology, behind in civilization. And when I use the word civilization, I mean it in the context of
yeah, yeah.
civilization.
Yes, it is. There are a couple of things that need to be done. One of our foremost problem is greed. You have a country with extreme poverty rate. You have a handful of people who live in what uh, who live extremely high. They control the resources of the country. They control the wealth of the country, while majority of the people live in what abject poverty. So those who are living in abject poverty, they are living in a state of desperation. These people will do anything they can because the first law of nature is what? Self-preservation. The man has to take food home. The man has to take food to his family. He has to live. If you pay a police officer $50, what do you expect that man to do when he's in the traffic? The man is vulnerable. When you pay a security guy at the Roberts International Airport, hypothetically $25, what do you expect him to do? He's vulnerable. Anybody can easily buy him. And the airport is one of the most important areas in the country. Customer service is terrible because we have most of the people who work there are that are extremely poor. So they're looking for the highest bidder. You enter the country, you call someone, you give them $100 or you give them $10, $20. Of course, you are giving what? Extra treatment. So no one. That's why when people form the queues, you see people running in and out, like no one is paying attention to the guys who are in the queue because what they want to adhere to the rule. Those who are coming in and bribing and doing everything, they are getting what preferential treatment. That's what happening. So we need a system that will hold ourselves accountable, that will help us pay our workers well, and take care of them. When you do this, you'll be able to control the system. Other than that, nothing's going to work. Okay, no?
You know, and what bothers me most is, and I continue to say this, is we don't suffer the major disasters that other countries suffer. Let
Hmm.
me be practical with you. In my lifetime, I've never heard of a hurricane in Liberia.
No,
In
I
my
don't.
lifetime, I've never heard of a real earthquake in Liberia.
Hmm.
In my lifetime, I've never heard about famine. In my lifetime, I've never heard about pestilence and drought.
And
The
these things
country is
occur out
green,
of
it's
the country.
fertile. The
Yeah.
country is rich. The country
Hmm.
is endowed with wealth. The country is endowed with God's grace. But the people and the leaders in power
Extremely corrupt.
strangle the country
Hmm.
all because of personal wealth, and they're not getting anywhere with it. You know what bothers me also?
Hmm.
These criminals, these rogues, these liars, these listen, man, they steal the money and they bank it in offshore accounts.
Hmm.
And then when they die,
Yeah, the country
what is
loses.
it?
The country loses everything.
Because they don't even trust their own banking system. So they're
You know.
stealing this money and putting it in offshore account.
Yeah.
My own money, as poor as I am, and I use
Mhm.
the word poor in the context of poor, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My own money. When I go to make a withdrawal of
Yeah.
certain amount of money, they're asking me for credentials
Can you imagine that?
because they want to know whether I own the money and they
Whether
want to check
you,
history as to when those money was deposited. So imagine these guys when they put this money here. The
yeah,
people will take you see the bank, the banks are tricky.
of
You
course.
can bring $1 million out and I ask you where you took it from. Go
No,
put it in the
when you
bank.
go to make withdrawal, they're gonna
Go
ask you
take
for
it from.
records. Yeah, yeah, ask you for records.
Go take out some of your own money.
Oh
You
yeah,
brought in $1 million. Nobody ask you a question. They'll
oh,
open that phone for you. In fact, they'll get you soft drink. Come put it inside.
yeah.
Time to take your own money. And that's where they have the problem. Because then they can't verify how they got those monies.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, Liberia continue to suffer. Because the more they take out of Liberia and put in offshore account, you're depriving the country. You're
Private.
depriving the ordinary man.
Mhm.
And I don't know how much can we say this. Because you're not carrying anything anywhere. A man builds 10, 15, 20 house. You can't sleep in all at the same time, Moses. You
No,
cannot.
uh,
Even in your house, you put 50 rooms. You cannot sleep in 50 rooms.
you just in fact in the evening you go in your bedroom, and even in your bedroom you're not gonna occupy the entire bed, just a little spot that you're gonna lie down, and that will be it. The next morning, right? So it means that everything we do is what vanity. But people are so greedy.
Yeah, and you know, Emmanuel Jackson posted 289 for hotel room in Liberia when the country is impoverished.
Yeah, can you
That's what
imagine?
they're charging. Like RLJ, I hear those government officials go there to just
Yeah,
chill for the night
in
and
the
fool around.
yeah,
$400 a night for
yeah,
what thing?
people did not. You and
For
I,
what?
we travel here across the United States. Do you know how much it's gonna cost you? Why would you pay $289 for a bedroom at a hotel?
At night.
What? Yeah, at night. Why? There are so many top hotels around here. You don't spend that kind of money. Some will charge you what, maybe $80 a night. You know, and that's what more than what, almost four times of what is being charged in Liberia. So the people are literally exploiting the poor, and they say they're providing services. Everything is about fraud. They exploit the poor. They exploit. Take for example, like Mr. Weir. He spent 12 years running back and forth to be president. When he became president, what did he do? He built several condominiums on a questionable condition, and yet he's yet to tell Liberians
You
he
call
got
the
him.
man building a condominiums? The man built a subdivision. Condominiums? Subdivision.
This guy can he line up several buildings in the country under questionable conditions. He spent 12 years. He said he came to correct the ills of the country. But the first thing he did to build for himself several buildings. So where's the accountability? They came, they said, well, mop up exercise. They took $25 million. You have three reports, Crow, the Presidential Investigative Team, and the GSC. All of these other reports accuse Samuel Too and others who executed, the mop-up exercise of wrongdoing. Yet these people remain in government. So you
Look
see
at
how bad the
3 years.
system is?
3 years. Those guys, all of them pregnant.
Oh,
3 years. Everybody pregnant. Every one of them walking around pregnant.
yeah,
3 years.
everybody
Can you
got
imagine?
money, Yeah.
And who they hiding? They're not waking up. They're not
No.
thinking about the health. They're just thinking about the money. And I had
Yeah,
to just pop from diabetes, from
yeah,
big gut. You see people dying from big gut and all the things because they're not even they just feel now they're basking in glory and in wealth.
yeah,
But life is short.
the
Life
guys
is the
living
shortest
affluence.
phenomenon.
Yeah,
Life is the shortest phenomenon. The
yeah,
shortest. Before you make up your mind, you're dead and gone. You're zero. You're
mhm,
filthy. Your flesh, or your flesh decayed.
mhm,
And that's what they don't understand.
yeah,
You know? That's what they don't understand.
yeah,
I see life in a different way, Moses.
yeah, the system really has to work for the people. The rule of law is lacking in Liberia, like you were saying. You can run the traffic lights, no one cares. Do you know the risks associated with that? I'm told that they now have what they call a tail lane, right?
Fourth lane too. Especially going to town in the morning. The
Yeah.
whole boulevard, a four lane going. They'll push the traffic that going to pins, they'll only get in one lane. And even in that one lane, come official coming with a siren, clear the road, clear the road,
You
clear
gotta
the
go
road.
there. Yeah, exactly.
Making all kind of siren. Everybody rides with a siren. Even pimping men and say got siren.
So when all of these things are happening, then how do you correct the ills? Everybody breaking the laws with impunity. We need
Ladies
to
and
hold
gentlemen, if
people
you're just
accountable.
joining us, you're watching Breach Radio Africa, Ashford, Garley live here tonight. Uh, Listen, the topic here is coronavirus, the process at the Rabos International Airport, arrival and departure.
Yeah,
But also, we decided to throw a little bit of,
okay.
other things in the discussion because it boils down to everything,
Yeah,
And again, we continue to say we enlighten. This is this is the platform that enlightens.
mhm,
Speak out against the ills in society. We bring to light so that people can understand. And listen, sometimes Moses, the
yeah.
government at the top may not know. And I'm
Oh,
being
yeah,
honest here.
yeah. Not everything, not everything the executives know.
I
Yeah.
work in leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
Something's happening at the bottom. I may not
Yeah,
know now. It
that's
comes out right. I need to be aware. But
mhm.
again, sometimes you don't know until you start visiting. So what we're doing is to encourage President Weah to encourage his lieutenants to begin to look at some of these processes, the things they put in place, the systems, and see if it's working well. And if it's not working well,
Doesn't correct it.
call revitalize, we call recalibrate, we call retool. Take a look, make it better.
That's true.
Make it better. A person travels from here to Liberia. It's almost 2.5 days just to get to Liberia.
Very tiring.
Flights.
Mm-hmm. Very
So
tiring.
they make the process simple at the Rabos International Airport upon arrival.
Mm-hmm.
People are not barking about paying $75. Everyone said they're paying the $75, but make the process smooth.
That's
Because
how it
after
should be.
those long flights and those long layovers, the guy reaches home, he's anxious to get, to bed. By the time you leave the airport is 1, 2 in the morning, and the road to Monrovia jet black.
Can
I'm
you
telling you,
imagine?
jet
Can
black.
you imagine how? Can you imagine how risky that is
That
when
is
you're
risky.
driving at 2 o'clock in the morning on such road?
Yes, jet black Moses.
Yeah.
Then we got a bridge over there, over the shuffling the Do River.
Mhm.
That bridge has never been touched for centuries. We don't even know whether they can do a structure check, like you remember some of the bridges here. One time there was a
Yeah. Yeah.
Minnesota on
Yeah.
I-35,
Mm-hmm.
and that time it was just a big issue. So they started testing all of the bridges in America. But we had a bridge that fell down in
What else? What else?
creek.
Yeah. The
It's
what
up
else?
the creek.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then what they did quick, they put up another bridge. But
Mm-hmm.
they didn't go around to check the Johnson Tucker Bridge. The
No.
Johnson Tucker Bridge was one of the bridges that suffered in that country regarding the Civil War.
Yeah.
People were bombarding that bridge. That bridge has been overstressed
Mm-hmm.
The traffic, with the human traffic, and yet they're not paying attention to those things.
No, no one can.
So the roads are dark, extremely dark when you leave in the airport at night.
Yeah.
Now, I hear the president is trying to do a full link super highway. They said it started to work, but every day the people going for 12 o'clock break, and only two front end loaders there. So we really don't know what's going on. But we pray that some of those things
Complete.
take,
Yeah.
take root, and
Yeah.
that change the trajectory of the country. But Moses, we in
Uh,
a serious problem, and we
yeah.
need to improve.
And let me just take you back to this fees being collected from the COVID test. I had the opportunity of recently watching the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, I mean, the Minister of Health, when she appeared before the Liberian Senate Committee on Health. She told the Senate that the fees they collect from the COVID testing, that money is used to underwrite the cost of other expenses, get COVID materials, pay for stationaries and other things that the ministry needs in order to keep up with the COVID testing. Um, when she made that pronouncement, Senator Milton Tiege from Sano County immediately, called her to order. When she stopped, and Tiege said, Madam Minister, uh, I don't think it is appropriate that when you raise government money, you just spend the money the way you wish to or the way you want to spend it. What it is done is that when government institutions raise money, they report the money. I think the money is deposited into what they call the government consolidated account, and based on their priorities are made. And when institutions want to make a disbursement, they can make requisition. Then payments are made out. So that's what Mr. TJ, at the time suggested. But the ministry is still going ahead collecting this money. So the money is being collected, but the service is what? Terrible. So then the question that most people are asking is that where is the emphasis? Is it that the ministry only wants the $150, or is it that the ministry is concerned about the health of travelers? This is the question that the ministry has to answer. Because if you're going to spend the minimum of 3 hours at the airport, having traveled for what? Several hours from America, so exhausted, you get to Liberia and you have to stay there for additional 3 hours going through a process just for a COVID test. And after you leave, you can't even get your result. Then why you wasting all that time? What is the purpose? Volcano?
You're right. The number to call is 404-272-2808. We'll be wrapping up at 10 o'clock, so we can take a few more calls. 404-272-2808. The reason why we're wrapping up at 10, we had a little technical glitch and we had to start a little late. Again, if you're just joining us, Ashford Garley Live here is the program on Bridge Radio Africa. Our broadcast is Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 a.m. GMT, and as in Africa, London, precisely Liberia, we speak of GMT. They say the Liberian Man Time. My name is Volcano Shelton. I'm the co-host of the program. Moses D. Sandy is with us in studios tonight. We are discussing the coronavirus testing process in Liberia, particularly at the Roberts International Airport arrival and then departure, where it said that is in the Congo Town area behind the former Sophia screen
Yeah.
parlors out there toward the ocean side of Congo Town. We know that the price is $75 upon arrival, $75 upon departure.
On the
But
bus.
it's not just the money we're talking about, but we're talking about the process, how painstaking it is, how excruciating it is. And for those of you who've traveled just recently, we ask you to call. There's a caller calling from a 3389. This number look familiar. I think it's Emmanuel Jackson calling. Is that Emmanuel Jackson?
Yes, that's me again.
Okay, hopefully you connected now. Go ahead, make your point quick.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to go back on some of the issues we've been discussing in the past few weeks that uh, culminates into what we're talking about tonight again. You know, the issue of just basic services like not having even bathroom at the legislature, not enforcing ordinance for businesses to have restroom. These are basic institutions. Now, if you have a health issue like this, and you can conduct the affairs for this particular issue that relates to health by giving people their certificate after they have been tested. Then just imagine the other things that we're falling apart on in Liberia. You know, I mean, right now we're supposed to even be addressing the issue of the eradication of malaria. You know, malaria is seriously attacking a lot of people. I talked to a lot of relatives back home, and one of the things they're facing is the issue of the mosquitoes. The malaria, the health ministry is doing nothing. When when we were and spray and do the DDT and all those things. Those basic services have not been done in the country. So I mean, we're facing serious issues. We have to start building small our institution. You know, in a way that we can show that we are a nation of independence. If not, you know, the nation is collapsing. It's very
Thank
serious.
you. I have another caller. Thank you, Emmanuel. And that's what we continue to
Thank
talk
you,
about.
Manuel.
Thank you. Caller from a 3211 number. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from tonight?
Okay, I'm Reverend Sanders Johnson calling from the state of Pennsylvania.
Go ahead, Rev.
Okay, guys, I'm watching you guys. I just got back in 2 weeks from Liberia anyway.
Okay,
All right,
Rev.
tell us the story.
Welcome.
I got in the country before getting out of here. I did my COVID test because it was required
Could you
before you
change your
get on the
location
flight.
briefly? You're kind of cracking a little bit. Could you just move probably from where you are? Because we want to get your story right.
Are you hearing me now?
It's still kind of cracking, but go ahead. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe it's location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, try.
Okay, like I was saying, before departure, I did my COVID test, and I got the results, everything, and I boarded the plane, got to Brussels. When you get to Brussels, the plane you go, you start to see the atmosphere, what's going to happen at the airport. So they put us in line and say, okay, want to make sure everybody get their $75 before you board the plane from Brussels to Monrovia. It's like if you don't have the $75, it's like they're working together. Brussels Airline and the government of Liberia. I believe they're working together because the way I saw the whole thing in the airport, it was like you got to show them to make sure that you have the $75 with you before you can get on board the flight. And then we got over there, get in line, and then you spend $75. Going in, they would not even give you any results. They claim to say, "Oh, if you're positive, then we'll call you that you have COVID." But because you are not positive, so we don't call you. And then coming back, I came back with my son, and it's like the test in 3 weeks. Let me say 3 days, 72 hours. So it's like if you have a flight and that flight having to change in 72 hours, then you have to pay another $75. So it just I feel you can go there. You see a lot of frustrations, people there going ups and down, and you have to go into the place 3 days prior to your departure before you can do the test. It's just too much. Yeah, I saw the whole thing, you know. And commenting on what you guys were saying about the corruption that some, caller that keep in, I always said this on the radio in Liberia, Liberty Radio.
Mm.
Liberia problem, I see everything when I started the program where they're coming from darkness to light. And the people started calling the radio station and say, oh, the problem in Liberia is Masonic. Masonic. I said, no. The problem in Liberia is not the government. The problem in Liberia is not the Masonic. It's the Liberian people serve. What I mean, number one is the church, because this is the institution I'm in. Okay. If the Bible clearly stated in the book of Matthew 5:14 that a Christian, a church member, a church person is the light of this world, and then the whole country is in darkness, then you're going to take that blame and point fingers at other other people. I said, no. The problem of this country is the church. Because every past president have sat in the church, grew up in the church. We have past president, our ministers of gospel, and yet and still that may continue to rise up in Liberia. So the church is not doing its own work. Okay. So my whole calculations about the darkness in Liberia is come from the church. We're talking the talk as Christians in Liberia, but we are not walking the walk. So as we find ourselves in a way that we can walk as true Christians, Liberia going to just go on and back going on. Corruptions, you don't have to talk about it. It's all over. It's in the church, it's in the government, it's in home, everywhere you check. You can talk about other government corrupt. Other people get there to be corrupt. Because what is seen in our churches, we're not showing anything as men and women of God that will bring light in the country called Liberia. So I don't want to take your time long, and I appreciate the program, and thank you guys, for your mayor. I was in that when you were in Liberia that time, when the election was going on, I was there when, your guy was in Liberia, and I saw your whole program, and I read the program. And thank you, and God bless you guys.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah, he's talking about the time Ashford was there covering the by-elections, Senator.
Oh, okay.
Well, Moses, man, listen,
Hmm.
there's nothing, you know, Liberia, nothing about Liberia that is not important. Everything about
Everything
Liberia,
is, yeah.
everything about Liberia is important. Anything, any topic you throw out here is important, because why? We have continued to show disregard for moving our country forward. And what bothers me is that when people say, "Oh man, I don't bring that America thing here," but many of the guys who are in government live here in this country,
Libya, and they have
and they
families.
pretend like they don't know what is good, but because they continue to keep you confused, you're the ordinary people. They do wrong in front of you, and you heal them,
Yeah,
you praise them, and so that's why they take advantage.
of course. That's what I think. The saddest thing about it, we can, you got a few group of people that will take the resources of the country, they take the lion's share of it, and dish out chicken change to their supporters, and these supporters will literally worship them, thinking that well, they are doing everything for them. But hey, what these people are giving you don't belong to them. They belong to the country. You are being cheated. They cheat
Yeah,
our country. Yeah.
we're wrapping up now. Give your parting statement. Let me wrap this up with just about 3 minutes to time.
Yeah. So I would like to call on the Ministry of Health and Enfield that is also associated with this COVID test, that they need to take a real look at the process. Try to minimize this process, the hazard, the challenges that travelers are facing. They need to minimize that. The $150 that people are paying, I don't think most people are really complaining about the payment of the money, but the extra hazard that they have to go through. And they go through all of that. Some of them were missing their flights, they're not getting the results. Something has to be done about this. Those who are corrupting the system at the airport, at the health ministry, these people need to be what? Dismissed. some punitive actions have to be taken against it. And I want to say thank you. It was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, teaming up with you, my brother.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Moses. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it
you so
tonight.
much. Sure,
Uh,
yeah.
we'll reach out to your professional expertise again in the coming days, weeks, whatever it is. And
Sure.
you've always committed to avail yourself to the platform,
Sure.
to Preach Radio, So we say thank you so much.
Sure.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joining us, we're about to wrap up. Tonight we've been covering the coronavirus testing process in Liberia, arrival and departure. We had some first-hand information given by people who just returned from the country, and you and I know that the process is not as smooth and operational. It's killing, it's excruciating, it's painful, it's degrading, it's torturing. However, many adjectives we want to use in a negative connotation. It's sad, and we want our country to improve, and so we encouraging those in power, those with authority, to scrutinize the system and make it smooth as possible. There shouldn't be chaos. The airport itself is not that large. There's no need for too many thousands of people to be all in the airport calling themselves employee. Let people not cross what we call cross the line, meaning you overlapping function. You have a police officer asking somebody for COVID vaccine. What does he know about COVID vaccine? He's the one supposed to be reading COVID vaccine. You have an immigration officer asking for COVID vaccine result, or COVID testing result, rather, testing. What does he know about it? Is it his prerogative? Is he a healthcare worker? Or he should be concerned about your passport, your visa, those things. So people should not create bottlenecks. People should not create red tape, bureaucratic processes that will just kill what's supposed to be done easily, but all because of corruption. We're doing this to hurt ourselves. The gateway to the country is the Rabat International Airport. We should be inviting, we should be professional, we should be poised and balanced. Those people need to be paid well so that they don't have to play around trying to receive bribe and make the process difficult for travelers. My people, when people travel, their lives are on the line. Imagine getting in an airplane going thousands of feet up. All you're doing up there praying for God to bring you down. Then you come down again. They keep you in Brussels airport for 8 hours. Then they say in the cohoot or whatever you want to call it. And then they say they're seeking, oh, where you own the money? What they got to do with it? But then anyway, you'll get on the plane again. You'll get to Liberia. They'll spend hours in the air again. Then from the airport, before you can leave the airport, it's another 3 to 4, 5 hours. Some of the flights now are delayed. You were hoping to get to Liberia 8 o'clock. You don't get it at 10. Imagine you getting to where you're going in a dark country around 2, 3 in the morning. When armed robbers everywhere, when all kind of people all over the place. When they say that it's not safe to be in the streets at night. We got to do something about it. I understand the president is working hard to create a super highway from Robertsfield to ERW Junction. I hear that they're also working on the road between ERW Junction to the red light. Those are plausible development projects, and I applaud you, Mr. President. I hope that these things can come soon so that it can help to alleviate some of the travel problems we have in the country. But we can still do better. Sometimes it's not about the infrastructure, it's about the system, it's about the processes. You understand me? If we can put all of the best buildings in the country, the best car rides, the best bridges, the best what, and people don't honor the traffic light, what good it is? What good it is? So infrastructure is not civilization. We tend to think that infrastructure is civilization. The technology that drive infrastructure, the systems and policy that drive infrastructure, that's the civilization, when people can conform to what is important. That's civilization, when people can follow the rule of law. That's civilization. So building anything, the building cannot process testing. Putting a building there, it cannot process testing. You got to put people there, and people with professional attitude, people with professional backgrounds, people with competencies. They're the ones who will process the testing. So please, my people, let us try to improve our country. When we come here and talk about these things, we're not hitting anyone. I don't have beef with anyone. I don't have problem with anyone. I just have problem with the way we do things. The way we do things, that's where the problem lies. And we can do better. We are wonderful people. I'm still convinced. I don't know where all of this crap started. You know, I don't know. We're decent people. Liberians were very decent people. Not because we go through war and so we're going to remain crazy. We're going to continue to remain stupid. So we got to wake up, my people. We got to wake up. The people in Liberia, the people in the diaspora, all of us, we need total change to improve our country. We'll be back here on Monday by the grace of God, with another broadcast. Again, I want to thank you all for being there tonight. Sandra Yankun, Emmanuel Jackson, Marola Moore. You are wonderful people. You always hang around with us. We say thank you. Musu Stewart, Henry Zeze, David Sona, Weado, Sandra Johnson, Benedict Snyder, Mona Lisa Morris, Nathan Bernard, Sam Koluba, Jack Murch, that's my man. Weado, Justina Harris Bestman. We say thank you for spending time with us here tonight. It was a wonderful discussion. We hope that you had a great night with us. Next week, Monday, we'll have another important topic. We hope you'll join us then at 8 o'clock p.m. Again, this is the Ashford Garley Live show here on British Radio Africa. My name is Volcano Shelton, co-host of the program. Thanks for being there. And enjoy your evening, Wellington Weir and Abu Bebeto Fofana. You had to throw it in there, all right? Enjoy your evening, whatever the occasion is you're celebrating tonight. We say have a good time and enjoy your weekend. Stay warm, stay safe, wear your mask. If you're traveling, make sure you have your $75. Don't forget. And coming back, have your another $75. But you also got to put small thing behind it too now, because if you're not in the data, then I know you will come. All right. So thank you all for being there. Enjoy your night.